Every morning, millions of people wake up, reach for a pill, and wait for the pain to go away. And it does, for a few hours. Then it comes back, so they take another pill, and another, day after day, week after week, year after year, never asking the one question that matters most. Why is the pain still there? The pill did not remove it. The pill hid it. And while you were hiding it, the inflammation causing it was still building, still damaging, still progressing. There is a seed, a tiny, pale, almost invisible seed that does something ibuprofen has never done. It does not hide the pain. It targets the mechanism that creates it at the root, naturally, for 3,000 years. Before ibuprofen existed, before pharmaceutical companies existed, this seed was the answer. And today, you are going to learn its name. Now, I want you to do something before I continue. Think about the last time you took ibuprofen, or paracetamol, or any painkiller for joint pain. Did it solve the problem? Or did it buy you a few hours before you needed another one? Go to the comments right now and tell me. Type daily if you take painkillers for joint pain every single day. Type weekly if it is a few times a week. Type ibuprofen story if long-term painkillers have already caused you side effects. Because I want to understand how many people watching this channel are trapped in that daily cycle, hiding their pain, while the cause continues unchecked underneath. The seed I am about to show you breaks that cycle. Let me take you back 3,000 years to ancient Greece and Rome, where celery was not just food, it was medicine. The ancient Romans used celery seeds specifically for joint inflammation and what they called water retention, which we now understand as the swelling and fluid accumulation caused by inflammatory conditions. Roman physicians prescribed celery seed preparations for arthritis, gout, and joint stiffness, the same conditions that hundreds of millions of people manage with ibuprofen. In Ayurvedic medicine, celery seed has been used for 3,000 years, specifically for Vata disorder, the Ayurvedic category that includes joint pain, inflammation, nerve pain, and arthritis. In traditional Chinese medicine, celery seed was used to clear heat from the blood, meaning reduce inflammation in the joints and the urinary system. In ancient Arab medicine, Ibn Sina, Avicenna, recommended celery seed for kidney stones, joint inflammation, and fluid retention, for completely different medical traditions, all independently arriving at the same tiny seed for the same conditions. That is not coincidence. Then the 20th century arrived. Ibuprofen was developed in the 1960s. By the 1980s, it was one of the most widely sold drugs in the world. Convenient, fast, cheap, and within a generation, the celery seed that ancient physicians had used for 3,000 years was forgotten, not because it stopped working, but because a patented pill that could be manufactured at scale and sold at profit was far more lucrative than a seed anyone could grow in their garden. Now let me show you the real science. Inside celery seed, there's a compound called 3N-butylphthalide. Scientists call it 3NB for short. And what 3NB does inside your body is extraordinary. It is a natural COX-2 inhibitor. Now COX-2. This is the enzyme at the center of everything. COX-2, cyclooxygenase 2, is the enzyme your body activates in response to injury and inflammation. When COX-2 is activated, it triggers a cascade of inflammatory chemicals called prostaglandins, which cause the swelling, heat, redness, and pain in your joints. Ibuprofen works by blocking COX-2. That is how it reduces pain. And 3NB from celery seed does the same thing, naturally, without a prescription, without pharmaceutical manufacturing, from a seed your great-grandmother used in her kitchen. A 2001 study, one of the most significant on celery seed, followed 15 patients with arthritis, osteoarthritis, and gout. After 6 weeks of celery seed extract, all 15 patients experienced significant pain reduction. Average pain scores dropped by 68%. All participants reported improved mobility. And in gout patients specifically, uric acid levels in the blood dropped measurably, meaning celery seed was attacking both the inflammation and the underlying cause. Additionally, celery seed contains powerful flavonoids, including apigenin and luteolin. Both have been independently studied for their anti-inflammatory effect. Apigenin specifically has been shown to suppress multiple inflammatory pathways, not just COX-2, but also NF-κB, the master regulator of inflammation in the entire body. One tiny seed, 3,000 years of use. science confirming the mechanism, and almost nobody talking about it. Now I need to tell you something about ibuprofen that your packet does not emphasize. Long-term ibuprofen use, the kind that hundreds of millions of people engage in every single day, causes stomach ulcers and gastrointestinal bleeding. A study published in The Lancet found that NSAIDs, the class of drugs that includes ibuprofen, are responsible for over 100,000 hospitalizations in the United States every year from stomach bleeding alone. Long-term ibuprofen use also stresses the kidneys, reduces blood flow to the kidneys, and with sustained use can contribute to chronic kidney disease. It increases cardiovascular risk. The FDA added a heart attack and stroke warning to ibuprofen in 2015, a daily painkiller that causes stomach damage, kidney stress, and heart risk, taken by billions every day for years, while a 3,000-year-old seed, with a published study showing 68% pain reduction, 0 stomach damage, 0 kidney stress, 0 cardiovascular warning label, sits in a health store for almost untouched, unmentioned, unknown. You now know why the system works this way, and you now know what the system preferred you never find. Now the practical guide: how to use celery seed for joint pain, arthritis, and uric acid reduction. There are 3 main forms. Method 1, celery seed extract capsule. This is the most studied and most reliable form for therapeutic use. Look for standardized celery seed extract, ideally containing 85% phthalates, the active compound group, including 3-NB. The clinical study used 75 milligrams of standardized extract twice daily with meat. This is your starting dose. Give it 6 weeks of consistent daily use before evaluating results. Most people report noticeable reduction in joint stiffness within 2 to 3 weeks. Method 2, celery seed tea. 1 teaspoon of whole celery seeds, lightly crushed to release the oils. Add to 1 cup of boiling water. Steep for 10 minutes. Strain. Add honey. Drink 1 to 2 cups daily, morning. This is the gentlest method, closest to the traditional preparations used for 3,000 years. Good for daily joint maintenance and kidney support. Method 3, celery seed in cooking. Add whole celery seeds to soups, stews, rice dishes, and salads. Half a teaspoon per day in your regular cooking. This is your most sustainable long-term method. Building celery seed into your daily diet as a food rather than a supplement provides steady low-level anti-inflammatory and uric acid support over time. Bonus benefit: kidney stone. Celery seed is a natural diuretic. It increases urine production and urine flow. Multiple traditional medicine systems used it specifically to flush the kidneys, and several clinical observations support its use for preventing kidney stone recurrence. If you have a history of kidney stone, 1 cup of celery seed tea daily is one of the best natural tools available. Safety guidance: if pregnant, avoid therapeutic doses of celery seed. It can stimulate uterine contractions. If on blood-thinning medication, celery seed has mild anticoagulant effects. Speak to your doctor. If on thyroid medication or diuretic drugs, check with your doctor before therapeutic use. If you have kidney disease, consult your doctor before using as a diuretic. For everyone else, 75 milligrams of standardized celery seed extract twice daily with food, 6 weeks, and then compare how your joints feel to every morning you spent reaching for a pill that only hid the pain. Before I finish, I want to ask you something directly. How long have you been living with joint pain? Not managing it, living with it, waking up with it, going to sleep with it, planning your day around it. Go to the comments right now. Type how many years and give me the number. Then tell me. Ibuprofen, if that is your current tool. Nothing helps if you are beyond normal painkillers. Trying celery seed if you're going to give this a chance after today. Because every person who answers is one more person who now knows the difference between hiding pain and removing the cause. Share this video with one person in joint pain today. They deserve to know this seed exists. Ibuprofen was invented in 1961. Celery seed has been treating joint inflammation since 1000 BC. 3,000 years versus 60 years. And the 3,000-year option has a 68% pain reduction study. 0 stomach bleeding warnings. 0 kidney damage risk. 0 heart attack label. The choice between them should not be this difficult to make, but it is because one was marketed to you and one was forgotten on purpose. You remember it now. Subscribe to Forbidden Herbs. Turn on the bell. In my next video, scientists have published 20,000 studies on a tropical fruit and its effects on cancer cells. The pharmaceutical industry has almost zero interest because it cannot be patented. That video is your most important one yet. I will see you there. Take care of your joints. The cause, not just the pain, deserves to be addressed.